this tournament, I think that he would win the left-handed league hands down.
That's pretty mind-blowing because that means now does Nazgul play grid?
I don't know.
I did find out TLO does indeed play grid, so I'm
he,
curious because it's like anti-home row. You're on the opposite side the way that he, so. Wow.
Either way, Nazgul, well known for holding down with his bossness from the Netherlands. EGIdra spawning in the top position as the red Zerg on his favorite map, Scrap Station. And we have LiquidNazgul on the right as the blue Protoss. Now, don't forget what happened at MLG DC. Kiwikaki busted out with a similarly flairful strategy, doing the Immortal drop plus Mass Zealot warp in that took Idra by surprise and dominated him on that Zerg-favored Blistering Sands. But then Idra whipped right back around and took the series 2-1 convincingly, so I would not be surprised if Idra would do the same here.
Now, if I recall, Idra was on the opposite side when that happened, and that strat was actually even more effective because there's a lot more room on the lower side, from the side where he warped in and was able to push forward, versus over here where Idra is. And we've talked about this many times where if you're going to be Zerg on this map, you're going to have, you're going to be comfortable. But if you also get that top position, there's a few other advantages that you get. So, I mean, there's a lot less vision for him that Idra doesn't see for him to work with here. Just excited to see what will happen. Nazgul so far showing that he has got the skill to do exactly what he wants to do, take another game away from Idra. But as we know, Idra, he's probably looking to close this out.
You know, it's kind of funny to see players always grasping for what they think is the new big thing. I mean, even players watching Foxer play and saying, oh, well, I guess I was wrong to do my old strategy. I guess I have to go only Marines in every matchup. But, I mean, Nazgul, you watch him play, and he just does what he thinks is right, and when it becomes weaker because of changes in trends and strategy, he just reworks it and continues to make it stronger. Big trust in himself, and we see Idra getting a spawning pool after throwing down that hatch at the expansion. Very typical, and as usual, a relatively fast gas for that fast Zergling speed.
More drones coming out. Of course, the Psycore going down over here for Nazgul as well. Again, really impressed. Nazgul being a player that is sort of obviously of legend on Team Liquid. You read a lot about it, know a lot about his accomplishments as well. How often do you get to see him play against the other prominent North American talent in StarCraft 2? Well, I think this is the first time that, we've had the opportunity here, and hopefully all you folks here at the event as well as at home as well. So a special treat here, all the amazing games that we've got a chance to see.
I am just delighted that I'm the driver of this game. For any of you wondering who's doing the observing, watch as I literally make two eyes and then the mouth of a happy face because I am delighted to be here. And here we see Idra now making that queen at both hatches very, very quickly. Nazgul looks like, again, he's getting the fast stalkers. Loves fast stalker play, as most Protosses currently are, because of how nimble the stalkers are. They have the range, they have the speed, and they regenerate those shields oh so fast. And will Nazgul really begin knocking down these shields right away? No, it looks like he's just making sure there's no proxy hatch here.
The other thing, too, to be said is that Roach has become fairly popular amongst the Zerg. And in all reality, these stalkers in numbers, blinked like they were, actually are devastating versus those Roaches with that little extra damage that they're doing versus armor. That can be really, really scary as a Zerg player. But
absolutely. I mean, I even heard Nazgul whisper after last game, yo, dog, you just got blunk. So big mad props to Nazgul for his ghetto blinking skills. And there he's managing to take out that Zergling. Maintaining control of the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Actually, surprisingly important to do that on this map, as that is Zerg's early warning symbol. But, Nazgul going to re-wall himself off. And again, just going straight up for the blink play. Apparently knows something that we don't. Apparently is convinced of the strength of it. And don't forget that this little area of destructible debris can be blinked over. Even if there is a spine crawler there, it will not help.
Okay, that's something that we will definitely keep in our sights as we see Nazgul now moving back to the tower. He's got some nice Overlord placement here. He's already got this creep tumor coming out, and I love this. You can spread it beyond the destructible debris as long as you have some vision over there. And so he will move out and just kind of check around the expansion. And over on Idra's side, we already have Lair going up, a bunch of Zerglings coming out, a few more Overlords, and I'm curious to see what happens after Lair.
looks like we have nothing but Zerglings getting produced by Idra. Idra actually probably quite curious to see what's inside of Nazgul's base, but only sees 2 gateways, and for the most part is playing in the dark. And Nazgul again going for the identical blink play. There's a forward pylon planted by that one probe. I mean, this could be disastrous for Idra. I've never seen a player use blink micro as well as Nazgul.
Well, we've got a Hydralisk Den going down for Idra.
No, that could be very difficult to deal with.
And yeah, so it's gonna, of course, the Hydralisk Den having its own advantages, disadvantages, of course, high DPS, but you've got to have ridiculous creep spread, because the moment those units get off, it's going to be really bad. However, he's only got 5 Hydras coming out right now. This is a huge force from Nazgul coming up the left side.
And it looks like it is a 12-stalker force. Zerglings coming in from behind. Oh, how badly they want to take out that one pylon. That would be enormous. Trying to dart forward, trying to pick off this spine crawler. Idra is just patiently waiting for the right moment.
Yep, and he's letting that army move forward. He's going to bring it down. He's going to wait for it actually to warp in, moving in here. Hydras are now plucking away. No room really to blink. No vision past those rocks. Zergling's doing a good job. More Hydras coming in to reinforce, and he will take these numbers down.
Oh my goodness, Idra, the anti-cheese, showing his resilience in style, getting those Hydras out at the last second, not even getting the range upgrade, just getting those Hydras immediately, churning out more and Zerglings. And now the question is, does Nazgul have any reasonable follow-up?
Well, I mean, I gotta wonder how in the heck do just like a handful of Hydras and then a few Zerglings, like great control, making sure that he's taking and focus firing those, and then he looks like he wants to go right through, gonna probably spread the creep right across the bridge. This second force from Nazgul is gonna come up. It may be able to blink backwards here. He's gonna stop that creep tumor production, but look at the amount of Hydras that are coming out here. A very good sizable amount for the amount of stalkers that we have on the field.
And I mean, Idra just sprinting back here. There's almost nothing you can do with blink stalkers when you are on creep, as the units are so fast. Stalkers, though they are quite nimble, are not nearly as fast as Zerg units on creep. And there go down the first layer of destructible rocks. Idra even almost has range for those Hydras. He's going to patiently wait, and Nazgul, oh no, realizing that the rocks are down, is going to try to do as best a micro as he can, but there's the mass blink and retreat, and Idra is going to pull back and do the straight-up bust at the front door.
Yeah, he couldn't get his creep tumors down beyond that little choke that leads to the third, so he's like, that's fine, I can take it right through the middle. He's already broken the rock, but again, now he's off that creep. In come a lot of Lings, and he will, oh my gosh, he's actually going to be in between Nazgul's army and the front door of the space. He's got to pull those Lings back. He lets them through, and then the Hydras will go and do their damage. I think that this may be exactly what Idra needed. Here comes some more Lings from the back.
Oh my goodness, Stalkers just don't do damage quickly enough, and there's the good game. Tying the series up 1-1. Keep in mind that that was Idra's map of choice.
Right.
He had the time to get the drones to support the Hydras, and of course to see that huge pack of Blink Stalkers coming.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew
Nazgul. Oh, word I'm not allowed to say on stream. He has chosen Kulas Ravine. Oh my goodness. EG fighting! There's Sir Scoop. Of course, he is the #1 cheerleader for Team EG. Has pictures of all of them lining his walls, the large blown-up posters he printed off at Kinko's.
All right, I'm adding our players to, of course, the game. You have joined yourself. You're so quick and good with that. And then, of course, let me get LiquidNazgul in here as well. I mean,
I cannot
believe to slow down for
Nazgul is choosing Kulas Ravine. Nazgul hit a struck of gold right there in Game 1 when he spawned in the close positions on Metalopolis and was up against Roaches with that Blink Stalker micro. And now with Kulas Ravine in the map pool, we are going to see if he might be able to pull the huge upset against Idra. Give a cheer for EGIdra and LiquidNazgul, who are duking it out for just winners round 3, but there's a lot on the line because Idra, if he lost to Nazgul, that would be huge.
Huge, huge. And these games have just been sick. Let's take a look at the positions here. In the lower position, 5 o'clock, as the Red Zerg, we have Evil Geniuses. Idra, also the winner of the last MLG competition in DC. Up in that 2 o'clock position in the northeast, the blue Protoss, LiquidNazgul, who showed an amazing display of Blink Micro in game number 1, completely shutting down Idra. And now game number 2 went to Idra, and here we are in the deciding game. One of these players is going to be dropped down. Regardless, it's going to be scary for whoever's waiting down there to find out who they're going to be playing, as either Idra or Nazgul will be a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. It's kind of crazy how many absurd players in a row we've gotten to see play it out, and the games are only going to get better from here on out. I actually refuse to leave this seat. I want to cast all of them. And Nazgul looks like he's queuing up a lot of probes, going for apparently a very economically oriented build. Not going to do any of the early zealot pressure that he was famous for in the early days of the beta. Idra, I think, is going to have a lot of a struggle at the outset of the game, as there are so many cliffs to worry about. But the one thing to note, with that range boost on the roaches, it's much easier for Zerg to just defend the natural, and a lot harder for Protoss to defend his natural.
We're going to have 14 pool going down for Idra. We've got the first gateway as well being dropped there for Nazgul, as he's putting it at the choke. And gas going down as well. First gas here for Nazgul. Drone going out for Idra. I believe this is a scouting drone. Not going to drop that hatchery quite yet. You know, Idra not necessarily feeling so safe with that 15 hatch. And, you know, on a map like this, unknown, here you go. His Overlord's about to get over there, but he's still got a scout with this drone, going to send him all the way over to the other side. Now, if you're Idra and this Overlord hits it and you see it, what are you thinking about these positions?
Immediately you feel very tense in Idra's position. You don't have a lot of time to think. It's going to feel the exact opposite of Scrap Station, and honestly a lot similar to that first game on Metalopolis. Now Idra is not going to reveal this Overlord. He's going to keep it hidden as long as possible, so that way Nazgul will have to do the roundabout scout. 2 lings coming out right now for Idra. Oh, he is actually just going to make 4 lings right off